them like our coffee joes or whatever.
Here we go. We're alive. Yeah, tonight's a rough night. I mean, it's like you have so many people on. It's like you have us, you have Patrick, you have Borden, you have Royce, and I. Who knows who else is on? So
Yeah, Royce.
no, there's
Royce
a
had a
bunch of
good
us.
subject today. I should have gone up, but I was out and about. But Royce was talking about Elton John, which
Elton
I
John and
do
Bernie Taupin.
I do know a
Mm-hmm.
little about Elton John because
Mm-hmm.
I collect him for, I don't know, I forgot how many years I've been collecting Elton, but yeah.
He gets a pretty good audience,
Yeah.
usually. I mean, I know he tries to keep it. He tries to keep to the subject.
Yeah.
Whenever he's like doing his stream, he tries to stick to the subject. But oh, excuse me, I'm getting my cough down. Getting my cough down. But it's like, usually when you end up bringing, it's like you. The thing is, okay, when you're doing a stream, you can end up like saying it's going to be a certain topic.
Yeah.
And you can start off with that topic, but the more people you get on a panel, everyone brings up different things that have gone on through their day or things that
Yeah.
they've like read during the day, and it ends up going off, subject, and stuff. So it's kind of hard to do a panel where you're like one specific thing.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I don't think I've ever really tried doing that type of
I
thing where I'm
tried,
like, okay,
but it didn't go well.
we're going to
I
talk
think
about
the
the
only
albums.
people, I think the only people that know how to stick to a subject, probably the Gunkles.
Yeah, but the Gunkles also pre-record their shows, which is great.
True.
Which I understand that, which is pretty awesome. It's a good idea because then that way it's like the thing that I like is like I like the idea of like pre-recording a show. Like say if we decided we wanted to do one subject, that way we have no outside interference.
Yeah.
Of people like asking questions or people like although I mean we love our peanut galleries, of course.
Yeah.
Them giving their 2 cents or whatever. But the thing is, we can end up recording that whole stream, then we can end up playing it. And then when we play it, we premiere it, we could be in the chat room with everybody and still discussing stuff with them while they're watching.
That'd be kind of cool.
Well, I da-da-da-da-da, and say, well, yeah, I understand da-da-da-da, and we can but yeah, so I mean that's what it means. You end up having to, like produce something like that.
Timmy,
hey, Tim, what's up?
Timmy, I was just thinking about you. I was at Trader Joe's and I was like, oh, Timmy would have loved this.
Yeah, but I'm saying I think that's like one of the things that we don't really do well here is like stick to one subject on one thing. Like we're just going to talk about the albums of the Rolling Stones from 1964 to 1968. You can't do that.
No.
You get all the people talking and it's like you just end up everywhere.
No, yeah, like when we did the Rolling Stones conversation, we talked about the Rolling Stones and then we talked about other things. We got into I forgot what our subject we got into. About I think it was about finding records at thrift stores. Like, what was our best find? I think I mentioned Tim and his 29-cent Bargoons.
The 20, him and Doc and their Bargoons.
Oh, you know what I found today at the thrift store? But it was damaged. Was Crosby, Stills, and Nash's self-titled album, but it was damaged. I already own it.
I just bought some DVDs I went to the Salvation Army in Lake Forest, which is a little bit further from me. I don't usually go to that one, but like sometimes I get a wild hair at my butt, and I'm like, if I'm up early in the morning, I'll like head down there because the 5 is like empty on a Sunday morning. So I went down there and I bought some DVDs. I mean, I didn't really find much, because they didn't really have anything. But
your salvos are open on Sundays. They're not here.
They're not.
No,
yeah.
No.
Ours are open on Sundays.
Because it's a religious organization. Ours are definitely closed 100% on Sundays.
No, ours are open every day. But
yeah, we
Goodwills are open. Not that I have one, but near Goodwill, 150 miles away, is open on Sundays, but not Salvation Army.
Yeah, I'd got this version of Night of the Living Dead, which is actually supposed to be the version that they keep on telling people to buy, because this is the one that the Romero estate and George Romero actually got paid for. Because there's been so many freaking copies of this, different like copies of stuff that have been like, because it fell in the public domain, the movie. I mean, Tim knows the story. I'm sure he knows. And basically Romero made no money off it. It was just out there. And finally they released this one. And he really didn't. Well, yeah, I guess he did. I guess he did put some supplemental materials on here. Not too much. 2 feature audio commentaries, one for the fire, Speak to the Dead, Ben Speaks, theatrical trailer, still gallery. And it's kind of funny because the one that they really talk about was bad about was there too, which is the Elite version, this one, the THX version. This is the one that they always say, oh, this was the total ripoff. This is the one that put George over the edge, that this one came out. So it was funny to find them both in the same place.
Yeah.
But this one has supplemental materials like a motherfucker. It has, well, of course, the THX transfer, like that really matters, whatever. Trailers and TV spots. It had all of them, you know. Dual commentary, which is the same exact thing it's on this one. Mm-hmm. Film parody Night of the Living Bread.
Yeah, so I gotta see that now.
Original mono soundtrack. That's interesting. I gotta watch it that way. I haven't watched it that way. 5.1 remix, of course. Still photo gallery. The history of Romero's company, Latent Image. This was kind of interesting because, like I said, when I got home, I kind of played with these a little bit. That had like all the commercials that he did for like a couple of like amusement parks, a couple of beer commercials. He did a commercial for Calgon, you know, where there's like ship flying through laundry, whatever, and it's like getting all this like dew on it or whatever. So there's that. Scenes from the Lost Romero film. There's always vanilla, I guess, whatever. Video interview with Night of the Living Dead's Judy Ridley. Final interview by star Dwayne Jones, which was actually this one. It's on here too. So, foreign and domestic posters and collectibles, original props, the entire original shooting script, cast members' personal scrapbooks, THS optimized, Romero directed TV spots, short films, full color insert featuring liner notes by Stephen King. And I think that's about it. That's about all they put on here. But yeah, they jam packed it pretty much this one. So I was kind of like, I was like,
that's cool. How much did you pay for that?
$1.
Wow.
$1 for this one too, with a slipcase. I was like, oh, cool, with a slipcover. Because usually at freaking Salvation Army or Goodwill, you don't get the slipcovers.
No.
You know, they're never in there.
But yeah, you get whatever they, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever they get, they just throw them out there.
But that's cool to find out for $1.
And then this movie, I've never seen, but I was kind of like, going, this sounds interesting. Grand Prix.
I think I might have seen that.
Dual disc.
Trying to remember if I've seen it.
James Garner, Eva Marie Saint, Yves Montano.
James Garner, I think, but I haven't seen it. But
yeah, 2D special edition. But I was kind of like, it was funny when I was a kid. I used to always say Grand Prix, and my mom would be like, "You don't say Prix."
That's the kind of movie I pick up. I pick up movies like that are probably out of print. You probably can't stream it right now. Probably doesn't exist. You know, those are the kinds of movies that I like to find.
Yeah, it was kind of like cool. I'm like, 2 discs, and it has special features, a lot of special features for a movie that I've never even heard of before. I was kind of like, it had a lot of stuff in it, so I was like, cool.
Trying to remember what it was.
These ones, I was kind of like, I have these on Blu-ray, and they don't have any of the special features like these have. The special 2-disc editions.
Ooh, good one.
Yeah, East of Eden and Rebel Without a Cause. I was like, damn, these are awesome. These have so much stuff. I mean, the special features are like one whole disc of special features off the hook. You know, the transfers are good because the Blu-ray doesn't have shit.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, damn, the Blu-ray really doesn't have anything. But
I like the special features on DVDs. That's what makes it worthwhile.
Oh, hey, Dwayne.
Hey, Dwayne.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the things that always made it like, you know, awesome was that you always got the special features. That's the reason why I love DVD so much.
Yeah. And commentaries and
and the outtakes.
Like this one has new 50th anniversary documentary Rebel Without a Cause, Defying Innocence, Village documentary James Dean Remembered, additional scenes without sound, new 3 segments from the Warner Brothers Presents TV series, including Dean's famous Drive Safely commercial TV spot, rare screen test, wardrobe tests. Pretty cool theatrical trailer. I mean, that's kind of cool.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time. I should go revisit.
This is like one of those movies I guess I don't watch that often. It's like not one of my mains. Like this one in Giant, I'm just like not too much for it. You know, like maybe once every couple of years I'll get a wild hair up my ass and I'll watch it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think the only reason why I have this one and I have Giant on Blu-ray is because I bought like a little box set that was like.
Yeah, I mean, I've read the book too. I mean, because I've read a lot of Steinbeck. The movie's great. The movie's great. The book's good.
But the thing about Giant is I think Giant, when they actually, because if you end up looking at all the supplementary materials that I do have, because I have the other 2-discer, because they had these at Best Buy. I remember when I was working there a long time ago. Because I know I have the Giant one from this series. It has on the second disc. It has like it's mostly stuff with Rock Hudson and Elizabeth Taylor. It's almost like James Dean was like just a side actor in that movie, but it's mostly their wardrobe test and their stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff like this one has like the 50th anniversary documentary East of Eden: Art in Search of Life, vintage documentary Forever James Dean, digital scene screen test, wardrobe costume production design test. 1955, 1955 New York premiere footage. Wow. That sounds pretty interesting. And of course, a bunch of shit from Roger Ebert. Roger Ebert, they stuck him on so many freaking DVDs. It wasn't even funny. Roger Ebert always like, hi, that's Roger Ebert, and I'm going to give you my whatever, my opinion.
Yeah, hey, I used to watch him as a kid, Roger Ebert.
Let's see. Dwayne said, I did go to this record and music sale event today. I went when it was packing up. There still were great CDs, records, and DVDs there. I bought an Eagle CD set with a DVD and a Ricky Nelson CD. Sweet.
I was listening to Ricky Nelson the other day. I had the mood for Ricky Nelson, so I was like listening to all his songs.
Here in the city that I'm in, we end up having a flea market, which is the last Sunday of every month, which is like right up the street from me because where I live, I'm in Tustin, so everybody docks me, send me pizzas as they do. No, but I live right next to Old Town, which is like the vintage part of Quartz Orange County, Old Town, Tustin. And they end up having a flea market there, which is the last Sunday of every month. But the thing that sucks is you go in there and you have all the record vendors there, but they all think that they've got gold. It's one of those type of things, It's like you go over there and you buy a Led Zeppelin that's just beat to shit. And they're trying to they're trying to sell it for like $40 or $50.
Exactly, like Houses of the Holy. When I went to the Ghetto Long Beach flea market, they wanted like $30. They wanted $30 for Houses of the Holy, and I'm like, really? It's a used copy. And the guy goes, well, because they're very popular, and people will buy the album.
A really nice copy, $30 these days, yeah, but.
No, this copy looked
really
like
nice copy. No,
this copy looked like it went into someone's Kenmore washing machine.
The copy that I sold the House of the Holy, the guy was really happy to get it. And I remember he wrote me back, and I asked him. I was like, I told him, I sat on it for a little while. It wasn't that long, but I saw people didn't want to buy it. I kept on having views, and he's like, he's all, can I be honest? And I was like, why? He's all, because that record goes for a lot more than you sold it. So everybody was expecting. I wasn't expecting it to be perfect because I was expecting it probably had a gash on one song or something. And it was like, true. It's exactly what Tim said. Tim said probably the reason why people are being skeptical is because you're selling it so cheap.
Yeah, because Robert Ludwig, you were selling it for less than what it usually is.
Yeah.
People are like, wow, Robert Ludwig for that cheap? Something must be wrong with that record.
The best record that you're ever going to find is this one called God Bless Tiny Tim.
Oh, look. Hey, they wrote a record about it, Tim. Just kidding.
Through the Tulips with me.
Oh, my goodness. There you go. Didn't he no, he didn't die on stage, but he died after a performance. There you go.
Yep, in Minnesota.
But it always turns into he died on stage.
I mean...
Let me see. Zenef. Wow, there's a name I haven't seen in a while. Yeah. What's up, Zenef?
Oh, yeah, Kenmore. I just said that because, sometimes people think they got good records at the flea market, and those records have been through the washing machine.
Well, Orson Welles died after he did the Merv Griffin show.
Yeah.
You guys ever heard this story? Merv Griffin used to tell this story all the time, and it fascinates me because he would be on Merv Griffin all the time, and he'd say, okay, you can't ask me about Citizen Kane. You can't ask me about Ava Gardner. You can't ask me about... He'd have a whole horde of things that are off limits. Okay, go. So this night, he shows up, and, Merv goes into the green room to say hello or whatever, and he says, Merv, you can ask me anything you want tonight. Orson is like, what? And he's like, anything you want. And he's like, okay. So he asked him about Ava Gardner. He asked him about, he asked him all these questions he's been dying to ask him. And 2 hours after the show, they found him dead in his motel room. He died.
Yeah.
And Merv always wondered if he knew he was gonna die, if he had some premonition or something,
or maybe an underlying heart condition that he didn't know about.
But why would he that night say, go ahead, ask me whatever you want, and then it's almost like he knew that it wouldn't matter because he's not going to be here. So
yeah.
So, Airheads bites. There you go.
Airheads. I got some. Oh, I left my candy in the car. I'll get it tomorrow. I had some Ghirardelli that I bought.
Yeah, it was actually the one that I sold Violent Kicks. It was an OG. It was an OG press. It was a Ludwig, I guess, master.
Yeah, the Ludwig ones is the one that people want.
I was up on it thrift stores, and it's all really nice. It's not. None of them are OGs or anything, but they're all in really nice shape.
Yeah, my Zeppelin 3 is an 80s pressing.
Speaking of Orson Welles, I watched this documentary a while back. It was called Shut Up Little Man, and it's supposed to be the story of these two, like, I guess, young college kids who end up moving to this apartment complex. And anyways, they move in next door to these two alcoholics that are just horrible people, and they argue with each other. Well, long story short, they make all these tapes and recordings of them arguing, and they end up getting into the tape trading circuit. So they mentioned a tape that actually became popular in the tape trading circuit, which was of Orson Welles shooting a commercial, or he's doing a voiceover on a commercial. And he keeps on getting pissed off at the engineers and shit. And he's like talking all this stuff. He's like going, what is this? Why are you trying to make me? This shit doesn't work. This is a bunch of bullshit. And it's like, but it was with his voice, which is so, commanding and stuff like that. He's like, this is bullshit. Blah, blah, blah. I just always thought it was hilarious. I remember watching the documentary for Alejandro Jodorowsky for his Dune, his vision of Dune. He was saying that he wanted Orson Welles to play a certain character in the movie and stuff like that. And he said that he went to go talk to him. Orson Welles like, I don't do movies anymore. I don't do this anymore.
Yeah, his version of Dune is better than the version with Timothée Chalamet.
But he said that he went all the way to Italy to visit him.
Wow.
And he was in Italy staying there because he used to fucking love to eat. He would eat and gorge himself till he would throw up, and then he'd go back and eat some more. Orson Welles was horrible at the end. So he used to go to this one restaurant in Italy because he loved the chef. So I guess Alejandro Jodorowsky had told him, well, if you come and you do this movie for me, he's I will make sure that you eat like this every day. And Orson Welles is like, every day? He's yes, every day. He's I will fly this chef over, and he will cook for you every day for dinner, lunch, breakfast. I will make sure he cooks for you every day. And he's like, oh, deal. And then he died right after that.
Man,
he died. He died, and I guess because when you see the vision of what he had and what he was thinking of doing, it's just like it makes you God, I wish he had done it. All these people that he had lined up. He had Salvador Dali lined up. He had Pink Floyd lined up to do music. He had the Rolling Stones lined up. He had all these bands that were lining up to do the soundtrack, because every single planet was going to have a different band. It's going to have Pink Floyd and all these different, Pink Floyd would have a certain planet and just on and on and on and on. It was just crazy. So they were saying not only was the movie going to be phenomenal, they were saying that the soundtrack, would have been a multi-disc record album soundtrack. It would have been the ultimate. It would have been one of the greatest albums ever made or some shit like that. And yeah. Let me see. Dwayne said Jimmy Page was the only Yardbirds guitarist that I didn't see live. Topham wasn't in the band for very long. I did see Eric Clapton once live and Jeff Beck twice live.
Nice.
Sweet. Speaking of filmmakers, wasn't Jimmy Page a Satanist, and he used to do soundtracks for Kenneth Anger?
I don't know.
Quite possibly. I wouldn't be surprised because Jimmy Page has done some soundtracks songs for movies. So I wouldn't be quite surprised if Jimmy Page went that angle.
Well, Kenneth Anger used to do these really freaking bizarre movies.
Yeah.
And the thing is the thing is that he did them way before it was cool. You're talking he did what in the 40s and 50s, Tim? He was doing in the 40s and 50s.
Yeah. And Jimmy Page, I don't know if he has good luck or terrible luck. Because did you guys know the whole how Zeppelin started?
Wasn't it because the Yardbirds had broken up and he needed to put a band together for a tour?
Yeah.
The Yardbirds were touring America. The Yardbirds never made it in America. It's people act now like the Yardbirds were really popular. You know, they weren't. The Yardbirds didn't. They had a couple minor hits in America, and that was about it. No, you know, and it's like 1968 or late 67, and the Yardbirds are on tour in the States, and it just disintegrates, and they all leave. And I don't know how this happened, but Page got put on Page, who was the newest member of the band. It wasn't his band; it was the new guy.
Yep.
He wound up with the record labels like, it's up to you to put a band together and to finish this tour. So he knew John Bonham because he was a fellow studio musician. He knew John Paul Young. John, you know who I mean. What's his name?
Jones.
John Paul Jones.
John Paul Jones.
Yeah, he knew John Paul Jones because they've done sessions together, and he'd heard about this vocalist Robert Plant.
I know.
We went to see him, and put together this band called the New Yardbirds.
Yep.
And they started playing just straight blues. They weren't playing any Yardbirds songs by the end of the tour. They were just playing whatever the hell they wanted to play because Page didn't care. He just wanted to get the hell out of there. But the thing that he didn't expect was, while the tour went on, the band sort of gelled, and he's like, maybe we've got something here. And the other guys were like, yeah, maybe we do.
Maybe so they do.
After the tour ended, they went and auditioned for Atlantic Records, and they got signed. And
the rest is history.
But I don't understand why it was Page's responsibility. Like I said, he was the new guy.
I don't know.
Everybody just laid it in his lap.
They just handed him the whole thing. I think a lot of guys.
Yeah. You know, I guess because he's the only one that didn't quit. Probably the other guy quit, and he didn't quit. So okay, it's your band now. You know, he didn't want it. He just wanted to be a studio musician. He didn't even really want to join the Yardbirds.
Yeah.
He was happy being a studio musician and a college student.
Wouldn't surprise. Yeah, we know Kix. I'm well aware.
John Paul Jones was the same way too. It's like I think they both John Paul Jones and Jimmy Page loved being session musicians because they didn't have to go out and tour. But I think it was the wife of John Paul Jones that says, "No, I want you to join this band because I need you to get out of the house once in a while."
Wow. she was
because they don't leave their houses. They don't leave their houses all that much. If you're
Page was like 15 years old when he became a professional session musician.
There's video of him on YouTube.
Yeah, there's video when he was in skiffle bands when he was like 11 or 12.
And you know, he denies it, but he's definitely on Kinks records, and that's probably him on the solo for You Really Got Me. That's probably Jimmy Page. He denies it. Well, he doesn't deny it. He says, I don't remember what songs I played on. I have no idea. That's what he says.
Joanne said Keith Relf was electrocuted in, I'm assuming that's how you pronounce that, Relf.
Yeah.
Was electrocuted in 1976 from practicing on his electric guitar. He formed Renaissance with Jim McCarty after the Yardbirds split up in 1968.
Yeah.
Jimmy Page got tired of session work, became a dead end. John Paul Jones was the same way.
There's this song that I've been trying to commit to memory for the longest time, and it's called "Come and Stay with Me" by Marianne Faithfull. And the funny thing was, I was trying to remember the name of the song. I was like, well, the only thing that I remember about this song is someone wrote it, and they wrote it right after they were boning Jimmy Page. And I was like trying to remember who was that person, and I realized, it was Jackie Del Shannon. So
you're one of the many. Which one?
The story goes was like they needed a song for Marianne Faithfull, and so they went to where Jackie Del Shannon was staying at, and they were banging on a door, and she was having sex with Jimmy Page, and they said like, "Hey, when you're done, can you write a song for Marianne Faithfull?" And so right after they were done, she went off and wrote this song and sent it off like, here you go.
Like, wasn't Marianne Faithfull with Keith Richards or something? They went out. I don't know. I could have sworn.
Who wasn't Marianne Faithfull?
That's what I was about to say.
Jagger's girlfriend.
I mean, and also who wasn't with Keith Richards? Keith Richards probably dated half of the.
Was with Mick for a while.
Oh, you know what? Mick Jagger and Keith Richards probably dated half of the groupies.
And there's those geeky boys from the Hollies that wanted to be with her, but they couldn't make it obvious, so they were like, "We'll change the song to Carrie Ann."
Oh yes, oh Carrie Ann. Yeah, that's a good song.
Have you seen that Hollies documentary? I gotta plug my phone in.
No, I haven't.
Look through any window.
I'll have to look it up because I have like 2 Hollies albums, and they're all greatest hits.
Hicks and Nash were actually, it was after a show, and Hicks and Nash were after a show were writing this song.
I'll have to look in the download again.
I forget his name. The lead singer was talking to somebody in another room, and he saw these guys writing this song, and they started singing parts of it, and he's like, "That sounds really good. I better get in on this."
Yeah.
So he wrote chorus or one of the verses or something.
He wrote
get some songwriting credit on this song.
Yeah.
Alan Clark wrote the part "So Not Like a Woman to Me."
Yeah.
That was it. Everything else was Nash and Hicks.
Yeah. Nash and Hicks wrote
I better get in on this,
Yeah.
Because it was a great song. It's one of my favorites of the Hollies. And
I keep knocking things over.
And of course they wrote it because they were in love with Marianne Faithfull, but they couldn't make it obvious.
Everybody wants Marianne Faithfull.
Everybody wanted her,
Everybody wanted her. She was Marianne. She wasn't faithful, but everybody wanted her.
I'm not alone here, but I've always thought that the Beatles' "And Your Bird Can Sing" was about Marianne Faithfull.
Could be
about Mick Jagger. They're singing it to Mick Jagger, but you tell me yet you've got everything you want, and your bird can sing.
Graham Goldman wrote "Look Through Any Window" and "Bus Stop." He later formed 10cc.
Oh, I love 10cc. Yeah, I like 10cc. I call them the.
Fox Guy, how do you feel about Ibanez guitars?
He wrote lots of things. He wrote "For Your Love" by the Yardbirds. He wrote lots of songs in the 60s. He wrote a couple other songs the Yardbirds did too, I think.
Yeah, Ibanez guitars. I don't know. I've always felt like in my opinion, I've always felt like Ibanez guitars are like young guys' guitars.
Yeah.
I just feel like they're like, something like you wouldn't catch someone like my age.
They're too show-offy for me. I've never liked them.
Yeah, they're too. What is the word for it? I guess I would say technical. To me, they seem really technical.
To me, they just look different. To be different, there's nothing cool about the way they look. Just to me, they just are different to look different, and they've never appealed to me.
I mean, because most of them have
guitars don't appeal to me either for the same reason.
Because most of them have Floyd Roses, and they just seem like they're designed to just be technical. For technical players and stuff like that. They don't really. They just seem very cold to me for some reason. I guess it's just like they don't have like a Les Paul or a Stratocaster where it has it doesn't feel the same. I guess
it's Ibanez are for guitar players that don't want to work hard at being a guitar player. They could be able to make you sound good even though you're not trying. Whereas something like let's say the Fender Telecaster, they always say that the Telecaster is a guitar for actual guitar players, because these guitars actually make you work for what you want to achieve, and the end result is always beautiful. That's why there's like this whole documentary that I had saved for a while where people talked about there's a reason why they call it the hammer of the honky tonk gods, because the Telecaster just comes in like Thor and really cuts through anything.
Yeah, Vinyl Kicks, they're definitely preferred guitars in metal music. Especially when they start coming out with 7 strings and stuff like that, and then 8 strings. And but when you end up going to the NOM every year, it's like you end up seeing there's like so many different freaking guitar companies now. It's like, oh, of course you'd appear about the main ones like Gibson and Ibanez and Fender, but there's like Legator, there's like all these different companies now. You know, I mean, they're making beautiful guitars. Beautiful guitar. I mean, I like Schecters too. You know, I really like Schecters. I think Robert Smith from the Smiths, Robert Smith from The Cure. Lisa's on panel, so I got the Smiths on brain. He plays a Schecter now exclusively. And he used to play nothing but Fenders. He was like playing them Jaguars and stuff like that. I remember. Let's see. Graham Goldman also wrote For Your Love, Heart Full of Soul, and Evil Hearted You, which the Yardbirds did. Eric Clapton left the Yardbirds after For Your Love was recorded.
Yeah, he thought they were getting too poppy. He wanted to be blues.
I do like Ibanez, Too Thin a Neck for me. I had an Ibanez. I think one of the first guitars I ever owned was an old school Ibanez, where it was like basically like a Stratocaster ripoff. You know, before they really started becoming more. I mean, it seemed more streamlined. It was more rounded and stuff like that. Telecasters are a great guitar. I forgot what the model number was. I want to say like an RG87 or RG something of that sort. I think. I have an analog delay pedal made by Ibanez. It's pretty nice sounding. PRS, Paul Reed Smith, cannot afford them. They are too freaking pricey. Yeah, Paul Reed Smith. I know Carlos Santana plays them.
Yeah.
I don't really like those either. They're okay, but
yeah, they're very heavy. They're even heavier than Les Pauls. If you end up having like a Les Paul custom, a Paul Reed Smith would be even heavier. I started liking the Paul Reed Smiths when I started seeing Mikey from Incubus was playing them. I remember that's the first time I really saw them, like, you know, gain traction after you started playing them. Let me see. I did play an Ibanez bass for 5 years, though. Seeing Jeff Beck do A Day in the Life live was amazing.
We were talking about this the other night, but I like cheap guitars, because if you're a good guitarist, you take a piece of crap guitar and can do amazing things with it. That just impresses the hell out of me.
Well, I remember I think I told the story before. I'm pretty sure I did. But I remember I had bought this really like cheap ass guitar. I don't even remember what brand it was. It was like an off brand or something. I think I got it at a pawn shop for like $50 or something. I mean, real piece of garbage. And I used to know this guy. His name was Bob. He was like this guy who was like older than us, because I was probably like maybe about 14 at the time. And he lived next door, and he was like in his 20s. So to me, he was fucking ancient, you know, but he'd been in a lot of bands, you know, throughout his life or whatever. How old could he, how much life did he have at 27? But I'm like, oh, he was old, you know. So he came over because he heard us playing, you know, my friend Jimmy's garage. And he came over and he turns around and he's like, oh, dude, you're all out of tune. And I was like, oh, this is a piece of shit guitar. I said, just stay in tune. I said, it sounds like crap, blah, blah, blah. He's all, really? He's all, let me take a look. He turns around, picks up, he's like, making it sound awesome. I was like, yep, definitely the player, not the fucking equipment. I was right there. I was like, damn. I saw, yep, definitely player. You see, Fox Guy, did you enjoy playing the Ibanez basses? I always thought the sound gears were pretty cool. I mean, Jason Newsted, I think from Metallica, was using them.
I used the sound gear bass before when recording. I loved how it played. I really liked how it felt.
Thin necks.
I remember using it because my Fender Jazz bass at the time was buzzing a lot, and I was in high school and we were in a band. And the bass player, she didn't want to play bass while singing. So she had me play bass, and we were doing Zombie by Cranberries. And I loved playing that song on bass. I still do to this day. And that sound gear bass really just knew how to do the job.
You know, they're definitely, you know, I've always thought that had to happen. Like, we got other people that are in the VC and do like maybe like, you know, Saturday night jam sessions or something like that. Because I mean, they did it during the pandemic. They did it during the pandemic where like bands would get together and they'd play separately or whatever, you know. I think that would be totally awesome.
Bring back the shit sandwich.
Yeah. Or, I mean, just like, you know, just jam sessions, you know.
Yeah.
Jam sessions, period.
Well, we need a new singer. We need a new singer. because I don't know if Zeb is our singer anymore. I say Paulina. We'll have Paulina as a singer.
Hey, Greg.
I mean, oh, hey, Greg. I mean, the thing is that we'd have to make sure that, like, no, we didn't play any songs that are, like, known. Make sure everybody, like, doesn't play, like, we can't be like, okay, we're going to do, Get Together or some shit like that. Because it was like, boom, they're going to freaking build up tagging, shut it down. Shut you down. I saw Carlos Santana 5 times live. I think he plays the same guitar as Jeff Whitehorn, the last guitarist in Procol Harum. Sweet. It's like other things a good photographer can take good pictures even with a cheap camera. Yeah, exactly. And that's another story. When I was like in school, I was trying to take photography. And I remember I had a teacher who was going to bring me a camera to use. And, I thought she was going to bring me a 35 millimeter camera, whatever. And she brought me like this freaking one of those old freaking Insta, whatever the hell you call them. She said, I'll take some pictures and let me see them. And I'll show them to my husband, but he's a photographer, And I was like, what the fuck are we going to do with this shit? And her husband's, you use one of these. It's just a vehicle. It's just a vehicle to get the image in. He takes pictures. I was like, okay, yeah, definitely the artist, not the equipment. Hey, Dusty, everybody, what's up, Greg? Hola, Greg. My favorite bass player is Jack Bruce. A lot of people are saying that. I hear his name pop up a lot. BK, good evening, Greg. I'm like all behind my messages here. Walrus. I've jammed with musicians. It's a lot of fun. That's why I'm like thinking. I think it would be like totally great if we just ended up having like these small jam sessions. Come on for a couple of hours, let everybody go ahead and take up a window and stuff like that. And all the rest of us that are just mouthpieces will just fucking like jump off, be like, okay, just for a window. Let the musicians take off and do what they're doing and shit.
I got the 12 string.
There you go.
The thing is, I think a lot of those pandemic ones, not all of them, but I think a lot of them weren't live at all. I think somebody would start out doing their part and then they'd send, the music to the next guy and they'd put something on and blah, blah, blah. And they'd film themselves while they were doing it. And then they just edited it all together. I think
professionally mix it together.
Actually live. Yeah. Some were. The Family Band, which was all guys that had worked with Zevon before. I think those guys were live. I think a lot of actually, I know they weren't. I know they weren't because two of them were doing two parts. So I know they weren't live. A lot of them I don't think were live. Some might have been, but
I got a new Goo Goo's surfing footage of my new video. Sweet.
Awesome.
Nice. I told my siblings that I can't draw like all of my siblings can. She told me that I can do things with a camera that they can't.
It's true.
Everybody has their strengths. I saw Jack Bruce and Ginger Baker in a small club. Everyone was hoping Clapton would show, but we got Blue Saraceno instead. Funny you bring up Blue Saraceno. I was thinking today, I looked up his guitar because I remember during the early 90s he was a thing. And I was thinking about Yamaha guitars. And I remember the only artist I ever remember that was endorsed by and that you saw playing, Yamaha guitars was Blue Saraceno because he used to have all those plaid ones, all the different designs. Of course, now I think he's with Ernie Ball. I saw him at the NOM probably about 3 years ago, before the pandemic hit 3-4 years ago. And he's doing work for Ernie Ball now. But yeah, I remember Blue Saraceno. He tried out for David Lee Roth, I think. And David Lee Roth thought that he was just too much. And when David Lee Roth tells you you're too much, it's like, come on now, for real. Would like to have heard Tim jam out on the old act. I think Tim could probably play a mean harmonica.
I don't think I can play anything. I'm pretty.
The cowbell.
We need you in the band.
We have Tim. We'll have Tim on the cowbell, and we'll have Lisa on the triangle.
No, I play piano. Did you forget? I played a keyboard.
No, you played the keyboard.
I did.
You
I
just
did
want
piano
some
lesson.
distortion. I mean, I can get an amp out and just put a guitar next to him. I can do that. I can do that.
I played piano for 8 years.
Feedback.
I forgot about she said she took out the sandwich.
No.
Okay, say hi, Greg. He was really empty. I meant to say good surfing shots. Okay, there you go. Tim does look like a drummer. You know who is a really good drummer though? Is Mr. Bizarro.
I didn't know that.
He's a damn good drummer. You know, I think that would be amazing to like get like a jam together, like Mr. Bizarro, John Bip Bop Boom. You know, because John Bip Bop Boom, I think he's still playing in bands. You know, I mean, you got a lot of musicians in the VC.
Yeah, and
let's
recall it too. God, why can't I think of his name? The guy that does the show on Friday nights with the doctor.
Dr. October?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with Dr. October. What's his name? The other guy.
Ryan Kidd?
Oh, Ryan Kidd.
Ryan Kidd's a guitar player, yeah, or a bass player. I'm not sure. Guitar or bass, one or the other.
Yeah.
By the way, Ryan Kidd and Dr. October, I think they have a freaking awesome show.
They do.
I really
I don't watch it anymore just because it's turned into a more they play records show, and nah.
Let me see. Eric Clapton is my favorite guitarist. Jack Bruce is my favorite bass player. Ginger Baker is my favorite drummer. Greg Mann said he'll be a backup singer. So Lisa.
I'm guessing you like Cream.
Yeah, I'll be a backup singer with my keyboard. Okay, I'll be in the backup with my keyboard. We need a lead singer.
I love distortion and feedback.
Star
Trek says Lisa can play "You Raised Me Up" on guitar.
Hey, dude,
or
you know what?
On the guitar.
You know what? No lies were said there. No lies were said there, Andy, because I can play "You Raised Me Up." That's one of the first songs I wanted to learn how to play on the piano.
Chris says she does some bongos.
Well,
you know what I'm thinking is I don't know if you guys remember. Well, Lisa probably knows. Remember when Mikey Bananas was saying on Mr. Bizarro's, hey, he wants us all to do the DJ sets for Christmas?
Yes.
You know, he wants each of us to do a couple of hours or whatever. Yeah. I'm like thinking, you know what'd be really freaking awesome is if maybe sometime during those DJ sets, you end up having a jam session, you know, and everybody could like end up giving donations during the jam session and stuff like that.
You know, I could play "You Raise Me Up" on the piano. That'll get you no money at all.
It could be like a vinyl community. Do they know it's Christmas or some shit?
Yeah. It's Christmas time.
Lisa down. It's Christmas time. Gotta be afraid. Go, Lisa. Go, Lisa.
I took singing lessons. I took singing lessons for 5 years, and I still can't sing.
I'm just kidding.
It's funny. I was talking to my uncle and I was saying to him, like, I actually do look forward to Christmas because then that's when I could actually pull out a lot of the Christmas stuff because I do like playing Christmas music. Like, I do love Do They Know It's Christmas by Band Aid. I like pulling out Step Into Christmas by Elton John, Wonderful Christmas Time by McCartney. Dusty's favorite song, which is All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Wait, she's the frosting.
My Chemical Romance version? Yeah, I like the My Chemical Romance version.
No. You don't need to
I like playing Christmas rapping by the Waitresses. So it's like, this is in a way like my favorite time of the year, just bringing out all the Christmas stuff.
Christmas. I love Christmas.
Tim's already ready.
My Christmas 45.
Ooh,
Tim's already ready.
This song. No, this has been sitting there since last Christmas. I made a podcast last Christmas.
I got a Christmas. Should I bring out my one and
away? You need this one. Everybody needs this one.
Oh yeah. Spinal Tap.
Sweet.
Remember the first time?
Yeah, everybody needs Christmas with the devil. Everybody.
Oh my God.
That's an important one.
We need that.
Ray Steven, Santa Claus is watching you. He's watching you.
I'm just looking for ones in picture sleeves.
The Untamed Youth. Santa's going to shut him down. That's YouTube coming from all the copyright music.
Yeah.
This is actually great. If you ever see this EP, pick it up.
I want to go surfing with Santa.
Yeah. 4-song EP. Fantastic.
Greg Mann said Paulina will be the lead singer.
Yeah.
The Kaisers.
Are we back up?
Sweet. Pete Townsend's my favorite.
So.
Well, Dusty can be the drummer.
Covering Elvis. I don't know what else I got here.
He's still around, Zanef. He's still doing this thing every week. Comer's like I saw him on somebody else's stream. I think it was like last night too.
BQ. Jolly
It
Old
came
St.
in my
Nicholas,
stream.
best version of Jolly Old St. Nicholas, better than the Jackson 5s.
No,
Of course, the classic.
Oh, yep. Fairy Tale in New York. Oh my God, classic.
That. Oh, here we go.
If I pass away at Christmas, play that for my funeral song.
Wizard, I wish it could be Christmas every day.
Oh, I love that song. I love that song.
These are just the pic. I'm just showing you the Pearl Jam.
Ooh, I have not heard that one.
Sweet.
I don't even remember what that is.
Dang, Dwayne, you've seen everybody. Who haven't you seen? Oh, yeah, gotta have that.
Yeah, nobody plays the B side, which is poor John singing "Rocking Around the Christmas Tree." Nobody.
Yeah, because everybody likes Daryl.
The Toms, Fake Christmas.
You know, Zanef, I think it's still just Michael Pilmer.
Yeah.
I think he's still under just Michael Pilmer.
Yep.
The Knickerbockers.
Gotta stop this dreaming. I want a girl for Christmas.
Well, they got to the point. They got to the point.
That'd be a great song for Ski Lodge, actually. This is a great record. I wish they would have put it into the white record in just a white plastic sleeve, no track listing, no nothing on it. It's the Screaming Santas, which were two of the Posies. I forget who else is in it. Good band though.
The Screaming Santas.
This was a record store day one a couple years ago. Hooray for Santa Claus from Santa Claus Conquers the Martians.
Pia Zadora.
Yeah, Pia Zadora.
Yeah.
Donde está el Santa Claus?
Dave Edmonds.
Oh, I love that song. Run.
What else do I have in here? Anything? Oh, my guy, Alex Chilton.
Sweet. You know, Trucker, I remember I had a girlfriend who was very into Joni Mitchell, just like I am. And I remember she always used to get upset with that song because they would say it was a Christmas song. Ooh, nice.
Ooh, nice.
Pop by T-Rock.
Pop.
Picture disc.
She always said that the song wasn't a Christmas song. It's supposed to be about her giving up her baby for adoption. So it was actually a sad song. But, I mean, people have adopted it for Christmas, like for many years.
Well, Silent Night's a sad song. These guys are really good.
Mm-hmm.
Jack in the
I had to sing that so many times in choir. Silent Night. What a sad song.
Okay, don't sing it for us again now.
And then of course, the last picture sleeve in this box.
Don't tempt me, because I will.
Hey, Merry Christmas, everybody. Okay, you can make me small. That's enough.
Your Christmas collection. Your Christmas collection is bigger than mine.
Well, that's just a little.
It's also time for me, Paul McCartney.
Oh, Paul McCartney.
That's just one podcast.
Paul McCartney.
That's not.
Paul McCartney. Go back into your cave. I don't like this.
That's not my Christmas collection. That's just one podcast worth of stuff.
I just got.
I didn't show you. I only showed you the ones with picture sleeves.
Said, dang, Tim really digs Christmas. You got to do a 45 show for Christmas.
Yeah,
I do like Christmas.
I got the Frank Sinatra Christmas album. It was a record store day thing. I have that, and of course I got Josh Groban's Christmas.
I've got an original, an OG UK copy of Frank Sinatra's Christmas album.
You know what is so funny is I have bought CDs up the wazoo of Christmas music, and every year do I pull them out to listen to them? No, I just go ahead and I go to Amazon Music.
You need the classic.
I think the only Christmas record that we'll play in this house is the Elvis one. We play Elvis's Christmas record every year. We'll spin it, and that I would never spin.
It isn't. You gotta have this. You gotta have this. You gotta have that.
Oh, and Little Saint Nick. Okay, I think let me see. Mariah Carey, Beach Boys, Beach Boys wins.
Yeah.
Gotta have that.
But that doesn't. The good version of Little Saint Nick isn't on that album. You need the single.
Look, it was $10 on eBay, and I just
I'm not saying you need the album, but the single they added like the Christmas chimes, the Christmas bells.
Well, you know what?
And it's not on the album version, and I've always hated that.
You know what?
Oh, definitely Vinyl and Kicks, definitely.
I mean, look how smug Mike Love looks putting up that Christmas tree.
Because he's Mike Love. He's a stud. Come on now. He kicks it with John Stamos.
Tested everything, even putting up Christmas trees.
They got a song on here called Santa's Beard.
Lisa, we will never be as awesome as Mike Love. He gets up every morning and hangs out with John Stamos. Come on now. We'll never be that awesome.
Yeah, he gets to see John Stamos in Boston. What a lucky bitch.
My laptop. Now I have to look in this box to see if.
Let me see what other Christmas stuff I have, because I got the Beach Boys. I know I got Frank, because you got to have good old Frankie, right? Frankie, it's a Christmas.
Oh, I missed that one. Here, don't make me big or anything. I missed Buck Owens though.
Santa looked a lot like Dad.
Yep, I missed Buck Owens. I did. I missed Buck Owens. This might be Santa 2 Christmas shows. There's a lot of 45s in here.
Okay, let me see. That
song probably triggers Lisa, because Lisa gets triggered by I saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus.
This is a rarity in Frank Sinatra. I don't think I've seen too many people with this, but look, Christmas songs by Sinatra.
Oh wow, is that a 78?
Columbia? That must be his Columbia stuff.
Yeah, I paid $6 for it. It's pretty cool. Yeah, that's cool.
I don't love Sinatra on Columbia, so I'm not. But I mean, that's cool.
I get down with his Christmas stuff. His stuff is my jam on Christmas.
Yeah, but I like
Santa's beard's got a little brat ripping mall. Santa's beard off.
Me.
I mean, it's a pretty cool look. That's pretty cool.
Now, is that like that's 33 and a third, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, I was assuming it was a 78. I thought it was a 78, but I guess not. Yeah.
No. But it's still really cool to have. I saw a copy on eBay. Going for $100, but that's what the guy listed it as, $100. Oh, of course, got to show that one. That's classic.
Happy Christmas, Beetle people.
That's for the whole YouTube Beetle community. Happy birthday, Beetle people. Happy Christmas, Beetle people.
Everybody, break out your Stairmasters.
Vinyl Kicks Charlie Brown Christmas, the only Christmas album that gets played the whole way through on Christmas at my house. It's tradition.
I also have that one too.
There it is.
Thanks for reminding me, Kicks. I have that one too.
Little Saint Nick.
That's the version. It could be any Capitol single. They've always used the same version, but the album isn't as good. That's what you need
in mono.
Ooh,
it's all in beautiful mono.
So it doesn't have to be an original. You don't have to hunt down an original or anything. Any Capitol.
This is in honor of Suzanne Summers. I broke out the old Thigh Master from Closet Rip. Rest in peace. I know she passed away. Now, isn't Joyce DeWitt the only one left? Because I mean, Mrs. Roper, Mr. Roper, John Ritter, Suzanne Summers are all gone. So Joyce DeWitt, I think even Larry's gone, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, Larry's gone too, so I think Joyce DeWitt is it.
There was the girl that didn't last, and then there was another one. They might still be around. I don't know.
Oh, the one who played
Suzanne's replacements might still be around. I don't know.
No, that song should be called Dusty. I thought it was called I Saw Mommy Doing Santa Claus. That's the reason why Dusty got divorced.
You know what? I had to sing that song. I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus for choir.
I'm gonna start dressing up like Santa Claus and like go from house to house. Bell, knock knock. I was kidding.
Knock knock. You want me to fill your chimney or something?
See, I'm weird. On most songs. Like I don't go like, okay, this is a definitive version of that song. But on Christmas songs, I do for some reason. Like Lisa just mentioned, I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus. I automatically think the Ronettes. Definitive version of that song is the Ronettes. You know,
I love that version.
Song, and I'll tell you what I think the definitive version is. But other songs I don't do that with. Yeah. But Christmas songs.
My dad really hates the song Jingle Bell Rocks. Every time we play that song, he gets annoyed. He hates that song.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tim.
I'll tell you the definitive version of that. Not that many people have heard it. Bill Haley and his Comets doing Jingle Bell Rocks is a definitive version of that. It's fantastic.
I don't. Tim probably has that song. Grandma got rid of
I have
reindeer.
I say this every Christmas, and I know it's not Christmas yet, but
that
song got recorded, re-recorded. The version that got to be a hit and everybody got sick of is an inferior version. If you can track down the original record, and I have it, it's better. It's not nearly as annoying as the one that got to be a hit. And I wish they could have just licensed it from that label and not re-recorded it, because it's the original is so much better.
Got a frog in my throat. Do you have Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer?
Yeah, I have the original. Like I said, I forget what label it is. It's some little minor label.
I think I probably have it on a CD of Now That's Christmas or some shit around here.
But it's going to be that re-recorded version. Like, where they'll say a line and then the whole chorus will come in and repeat that line, I hate that. That's not in the original. None of that kind of stuff is in the original.
Don't say now that's what they call Christmas.
That's what I'm saying. I bet you that has Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. Tell me it does. I'm sure it probably does.
It's going to be the crap version. I'm telling you.
Does it have Santa Claus is Coming to Town by Bruce Springsteen?
It doesn't.
It doesn't? Okay, is that a volume 2 or volume 3 maybe? Because I bet you volume 1 would probably end up having it.
It's probably volume 1, yeah.
Okay.
Wait, does that have White Christmas by Bing Crosby?
Oh, it will.
They put that on every volume. Probably volume 1, 2, and 3. White Christmas got to go on it.
It doesn't.
What?
Wow.
What?
Modern Harmonic via Sunday's Records put out 50s, 60s themed
Halloween collection. This one has like stuff from Destiny's Child, NSYNC, Kylie Minogue, Elton John.
Oh my God, it's modern.
My Girl has Wham! That's Christmas. Don't forget Wham! The Waitress, Christmas Wrapping. Possibly my favorite.
I've got a 12-inch of that.
Of Christmas Wrapping?
Yeah, this is Modern Harmonic, Zenith.
Me too. It's somewhere around.
That's on Modern Harmonic Records. Good label.
I kept the love of Santa Claus alive for many years, so my siblings would, have that.
Really, they did claim that? They claimed John Ritter years of physical humor, taking falls on the set causes aortic tear. I don't believe that. I don't believe. I think when it's your time to. I mean, aortic tears. Freak, the coffee got me. Aortic tears. I think it's like when it's time for them to happen. I think they just happen.
Yeah.
That's what Andrew Fletcher from Depeche Mode died from. Aortic tear. They happen.
I mean, you can't tell me that somebody like John Ritter took more falls than somebody like Buster Keaton, and it didn't kill him.
I mean, look at Keith Richards. He took a lot.
Santa.
Ooh.
Are you talking about this?
Oh, nice.
No, mine's a UK one.
Okay. Because this one has like
it's a quote unquote extended version.
I gotta bring out
is the fade out lasts like 30 seconds longer maybe than the album version. It's not very extended. It's 30 seconds at most longer than the regular version.
You know what, old kicks? I always felt that Fishbone was an underrated freaking two-tone band. I freaking loved Fishbone. I used to love them. Let's see, Run Rudolph Run, Chuck Berry. Keith Richards did Run Rudolph Run. I'm sure he did.
That's the definitive version of that, in my opinion. As much as I'm a Dave Edmunds fan, I think Keith Richards nailed Run Rudolph Run.
Final Kicks, last Christmas classic song. I like my Christmas songs depressing. You can have the cheer. Modern Harmonic is an underrated label.
Last Christmas I like better than Wham. Sorry.
Lisa's going to hell.
Lisa's going to hell. Why are you going to hell? What'd you do?
And then there's that song that came out called Christmas is All Around by
There you go. RSD release of White Christmas. It's on white vinyl. I had to pick it up. Pretty cool.
Yes, but White Christmas wasn't his song, though. Wasn't it White Christmas?
Yeah, White Christmas is Bing Crosby.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
I mean, I'm sure it's a excellent version. I mean, it's Frank Sinatra. Come on now.
I mean, you got also.
I always think of Bing Crosby, though. I think that song.
He has one of my definitive Christmas songs, definitive versions, but it's not like Christmas. I think his version of Jingle Bells is the best Jingle Bells.
Oh, I love his version of Jingle Bells. I'm a Frank Sinatra stan.
It's just so.
What the hell is this popping up on my computer? I have like all these little things popping up on the bottom of my freaking taskbar now because the cat's always like jumping up here and climbing on the keyboard, and all kinds of weird shit pops up every time I like look at my keyboard.
Okay, you know what, Tracker, you can tell me to go to hell, but look what I have, Tracker. Now it's your time to tell me to go to hell. Josh Groban.
Oh my God, she's got to do this like once a freaking like stream.
I'm going to hell for that. Also,
once a stream, it's like, hey, Josh Groban.
I can honestly say I don't own any Josh Groban.
I'm trying to find...
own no Josh Groban because Lisa goes and buys them all, so they're not.
Yeah,
there's no more left for anybody else.
I don't even have it. I have literally hundreds and hundreds of various artist CDs, and I don't even have a Josh Groban song on one of those.
Be careful because Lisa will think it's funny and she'll start sending them to you.
No, I'm not going to send them.
Be careful. Be like, I hate that. It's it's like, why do I have a package for Green Lucy? God damn it! Why is there a Taylor Swift CD in here?
I am not going to be that mean. Even
exactly, Fox Guy. The Jingle Bells is just amazing in Sinatra's version of that. That's why I like it so much.
Jingle Bells.
And he's laid back. He's as laid back as he gets, and he's just great.
Who loves perverted Christmas songs? I really haven't come across any.
Oh, there's one.
I have a Christmas album. What is it called? Black Christmas? It's this various artist album about like the uncheeriest Christmas song. It's like, oh my God, you want to cry. It's like, holy crap. It's
what, Trekker? Trekker, the cat probably is probably ordering shit on my freaking Amazon for all I know.
Yeah, probably on your Amazon.
He's coming here on the keyboard when I'm asleep. He's all, okay, now how does this work? Oh, look, catnip. Yeah, we need some of that. Yeah. We need some of that in here. Oh, hey, what's up, Pop Frog?
Hey.
So, hello, that is a great album point. I got that one. Yeah, Josh Groban. Yeah, it's like Lisa is on the Groban. She is.
I am on the Groban. I'm also for. I also got this because you need this in your 45 collection.
She drives me crazy.
Oh, and look, you need this. This is a classic.
There's a song you do karaoke.
Have I ever told you guys my She Drives Me Crazy story? I have a She Drives Me Crazy story. Which I find very amusing. But I'd gone and seen 2 movies in a row that I really wanted to see. And it was my girlfriend's turn. And she wanted to see Driving Miss Daisy. So
I got to go make water.
I had to go. I went, and I'm sitting there, and there was this really sad part. I can't remember what happened, but it was really, really sad. And I've been sitting there thinking the whole time, and I go into her ear really close so nobody can hear me. I go, he drives Miss Daisy crazy. No longer. He drives Miss Daisy because she can't drive herself. And she bursts out laughing in this really sad part. And everybody's looking at her, and I'm just sitting there holding this thing.
Look, now people can't say that I'm not a
Weird Al missed that one. Weird Al could have had a number 1 with that, man.
Oh, yeah.
Lisa's going on one of her little rants up there.
It came out at the same time too, so it was perfect.
I'm looking for my Christmas album.
It was there for the grabbing.
Where is it?
Let me see. Bing Crosby and David Bowie's Little German Boy, all-time classic. I regret that when I sold that first collection of records, I'm always bitching and whining about. I know they're like, Rick, get over it. It's been like 17, 18 years now.
Get over it, Ricky.
I had a copy of that. It was like supposed to be a picture disc or the version of picture disc, but it was like a record and it had like a big sticker in the middle of it, which was like a picture of David Bowie and Bing Crosby. Yeah, it was like a 12-inch.
Okay, so it was the full version because they did release it as a 45, but the whole beginning talking thing was cut off and it just started.
Yeah, this was like it had a picture from like the Christmas special. I guess it must have been the Bing Crosby Christmas special.
Yeah, like 77 or something.
Yeah,
one of the last things he did, I think.
Yeah, I think I like bought it at like Goodwill for like 25 cents or some shit like that. So, yeah, it was one of those things. Let me see. I love that movie. The scene where she tells him, "You're my best friend in a nursing home." Gets me every time. Yeah, gets you right in the feels.
I know. I'm going through
right in the feels.
I'm going through my face.
But you lift me up so I can walk on mountains or something. Something. Oh yeah, Lisa's going in her. I'm showing all my 45s.
No, I'm looking for that one Christmas one I had.
Okay,
Vinyl Kicks, have you no soul?
My 45s. It's gonna take a while.
Yeah, you have way more than I do. So.
My Vinyl Kicks, have you no soul? He's all, no, I really don't.
Everybody go grab a couple of cases of beer, and I'll show you all my 45s.
Let me see. Run DMC's Christmas in Hollis, another classic. Nice, Paulina.
Yeah, everybody needs
nice.
I always keep them out.
I almost like pulled that up. I was gonna go ahead and go. Oh, there we go. Let Tim do his.
I lost mine.
It's the zombie snowman.
How could you lose yours?
I don't know. I lost it. He's gone.
No, I have mine, but he got put up in the storage. I got to take him out, and I told them to leave him out. I was gonna download that video and I was gonna add it in here, but I was gonna put at the bottom. I was gonna put a disclaimer: this was stolen from Doc Talks' channel. I put like a link to his channel, but because I saw the video, but the videos that I found of it, I didn't find the ones with the sound effect of him going. It's just like him, like they're playing music in the background or whatever. And
oh no, he's that's a weird. That's a weird cat, man. I'm not.
Yeah, it's like one of those Egyptian hairless cats, I think, or some shit like that. Let's see. Lisa has her own release of Josh Groban called Groban with Groban. It was sold late at night on cable access. Lisa has now That's What I Call Music Volume 345. Okay, I'm just gonna make her big because I know she's got more Groban to show us.
Yeah.
Why am I big? Why am I big?
That's why I ask my doctor every time I go in there. Every time I go for a doctor's appointment, I tell him, "Why am I big?"
My doctor my doctor always tells me eat less and lose weight.
Because I thought you were going to show more Josh Groban. We were getting excited.
Oh, I don't have any more. You don't. Oh, you want more? Oh.
No.
No. No. I'll show you some.
Oh, I opened my big fat mouth. Okay, there you go.
Monkey's Christmas album. This is the one that has the extra track of Ruchi. Yeah, extra track.
And Christmas is my time of year.
I have a Partridge Family Christmas album.
Well, I just have a Partridge Family album. I'll play it on Christmas. That makes it a Christmas.
I'm gonna have to get you a Christmas album of the Partridge Family next time I go to the.
No, I think I'm gonna go online. I gotta buy some more. I do.
I totally forgot I had this here.
No, but don't be surprised if I end up at Amiibo one day and I buy you one.
But I have it.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Lisa, where's your Partridge Family? You're supposed to have it out. There you go.
My 45.
No, what I was gonna say is Lisa has. All of the now that's what they call musics with Josh Groban on them.
Yeah.
So she's missing two.
She's missing two, just the two.
That's my
dog. The dog ate it. The dog ate the snowman.
No, mine didn't get eaten. He's there. I still, like I said, I'm waiting for him to come out of storage because I still have these. They're waiting. See, they're right here waiting because we're coming upon Christmas. So my snowman's going to need his,
How do I lose my
How could you lose your snowman so quickly? Didn't we see it like about a few weeks ago?
Well, I don't have a snowman, but I got Grimace.
It's Lisa. We're talking about Lisa.
It wasn't
Grimace.
Grimace traded snowman for Grimace.
Grimace was not made by Dave.
I know, but I got Grimace. It was made by a big corporation. I don't
was
know
Bing Crosby the dad or the uncle of David Crosby from Crosby, Stills, and Nash? Oh yeah, and sometimes young. That is one monstrous peep. Now I'm gonna have nightmares. That is nightmare fuel.
What, peep?
Well, when you put them that close to the camera, yeah, it's nightmare fuel. Oh my Jesus! Oh my God! Nightmare fuel. No,
I know I feel bad for losing that snowman. I'm looking for it, and it's gone.
Did Cookie eat the snowman? Did the cookie eat the snowman?
She probably did. That's why she's fat.
Lisa couldn't figure out. She went out in her backyard the other day, and there was a little pile of snow in the yard. And she's like, "Where'd that come from?"
No, she went and peed. She went and peed in it. She went and peed in it.
Dusty, what age did your kid stop believing in Santa? Spoiler alert, Lisa. Close your ears.
I don't know. I had to do it a long time with my sister.
You know, I think probably like around maybe like 9 or 10. It was like 9 or 10, and it's like, you know, it kind of caused an argument between me and my ex-wife too. It's like, you know, because we were really like, I wanted to keep it going, you know, and she was like, no, it's enough. That's enough. But I was like, she's all, they need to learn. And I was like, they're only going to be 10. I was like, come on, let it go. You know, because kids don't get to hold on to any of their innocence, you know.
Yeah,
so
I would let it go as long as they believed. I had a 14-year-old kid that still believes in Santa. That'd be fine with me. Good for you.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it was mostly because my oldest son he had already heard from other kids that he was.
Well, yeah, they do. They do. And then when you come home and ask you, I keep it up until it's you can't anymore.
Don't even get me started, Hot Frog. That's a good idea. You're giving me good ideas, Hot Frog. I love you.
We'll just tell your brother we ate it all.
No, I really did lose my snowman.
There you go. She probably belongs to a whole community there, Dave. A whole community of like Groban people.
Yeah, you know what Josh Groban's community is called? They have a name for them.
Grobans?
No, they're called the Grobanites.
They're called the Grobans.
No, they're called the Grobanites.
I like Grobans. I'm gonna stick with that.
That sounds perverted. That sounds perverted.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like the type of name some porn star came up for.
It sounds like something Lisa would say. She's all, "Ooh, I got tickets. I'm gonna be groping."
Hey, I've seen him twice in concert. Okay, I did.
I don't find that surprising.
And in some way, I'm not impressed.
You know what? I paid good price for those concert tickets. Okay, I paid.
And in some way,
price.
I'm not impressed. I'm just sympathetic.
Well,
I just bagged on Josh Groban because my voice teacher, one of my voice professors in college, her husband was Josh Groban's voice coach. So that's why I was like, I don't like Josh Groban because I don't like you.
I don't know. I'm just not in. I mean, like the kid's mom, she's into like Josh Groban. She has Josh Groban CDs. So
you're good. You're a good person, lady. But I love you.
I never liked him. Never liked him.
Well, you know what? Most of the guys that go to Josh Groban concerts are not of the straight nature anyway.
Groping on Groban, then you're gagging on Groban.
Think about it. You don't see straight men at a Josh Groban concert, okay? They just not a lot of them. They're mostly, batting the other team.
Wait a second, was Josh Groban the one who sang the song from Polar Express?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And he's also on Broadway, people. He plays Todd Sweeney.
Okay, well, he ends up singing that song at the end of the Polar Express, and it makes me kind of like, I feel a little bit here. I get a little.
Ooh. He kind of has a little. He feels a little.
Yeah, but I still don't like it.
If you're out there, Tina, you're a good. Tina, if you're out there,
a train that rides on a track.
If you're out there, Tina, you're a good person for liking Josh Groban. You see, I'm alone. I'm alone with my love, and that's okay. Oh my God! I am
alone. You're like the only member of the Josh Groban fan club.
I'm alone with my love. I remember the first time I told the BC about it. They're like, "Really? We're kicking you out. We're kicking you out."
Grobanites. I like that.
Yeah, no.
Grobanites fan club meeting at Little Caesar. Free crazy bread for all attendees.
No, the last time they did an event, it was at UCLA, and people were giving out bootleg Josh Groban.
They got fucking bootlegs and live shows. Do you need Groban like at the SoFi Center for the trading bootlegs?
No, I was
Man, that Groban tour in 2007. Damn, it was freaking. I'll never see a show like that again. You got any copies of 2007? No, but I got 2011. 2011 was a good year too.
No, but I've got a really good tape of the show where he played Monterey Park.
Monterey Park, there you go.
Right in front of the CVS.
Oh my God, she even has a fucking DVD. Oh my God.
You know what? I can already see the BC like, take this bitch out of the vinyl community. She's screwing it up. Take all her Josh Groban and throw it in a torch fire.
I need a moment.
They're gonna kill me. I can already hear Massey telling the BC, take that woman out of the BC.
It's like somebody, just when you think it's bad enough, she's like, oh, what are you gonna pull out next? A freaking poster?
I don't have any posters.
Well,
no. Oh
my God.
Well, you asked.
Oh my God. Music. Oh my God, more than one CD. Oh my God.
I'm seriously, the VC is questioning why they put me in the VC. They're like, let's get this girl out of here as soon as possible.
James says, years ago, I worked the graveyard shift. We had these three cousins who used to sing Josh Groban songs at the top of their lungs. I ran over to one of them and asked if he was hurt.
Raise me up.
I told him I thought he was yelling out for help.
Don't make me bring out some Michael Bublé, okay?
I agree with Final Kicks. I take Michael Bublé any day over Josh Groban. And the only reason why I say that is because Michael Bublé is Foo Fighters approved.
Fox guy, I'll tell you how much I paid the last time I saw Josh Groban. Okay, I'll tell you. I paid $130. And that was 2011. Yeah,
you
that's right.
Paid by $70.
I'm not laughing. No. Look, I'm like, that's not even. Yeah.
Look, I was row 21. Okay, I was row. No, I was row 8 or something. Yeah.
Team Bublé.
I like them both. I like both Michael Bublé and Josh Groban. I support both of them.
How many Bublé DVDs do you have?
How many Bublé do I have?
Even before Foo Fighters approved them, I love Bublé.
0. I have 0.
You have 0 Bublé DVDs, but you got like fucking 50 Josh Grobans.
I have 1, 2. I have 8 Josh Groban.
Okay.
I hope you have more Monkees, Michael Nesmith stuff than you do Josh Groban.
I don't think she does. I really don't think she does.
I'm gonna put myself in Avatar more, and I'm gonna say it. No.
How much Kenny G takes up your CD rack?
How many Josh Groban do I have? Ooh, too many.
So,
let me see.
When she says, "Ooh," you know it's bad.
1, 2.
She tried, Michael Nesmith.
3.
She tried.
4. Oh my God. 5.
Michael Nesmith is like eating his beanie in heaven.
7. 8, 9. I got 10 Josh Groban CDs. I have a problem. I have a fucking problem. I got a problem. Somebody take me out of the music.
Well, Lisa, it was nice having you on the panel, but you got to go. I'm just kidding.
Well, apparently the doctors were right. Getting COVID does kill your taste.
Mike, hey, let me tell you something, Tim. Let me tell you something, Tim. You want to know something, Tim? My taste was killed even before COVID came around. My taste sucked before COVID came.
Well, that explains the One Direction over the Smiths album. So I mean,
yeah, the One Direction.
There's no hope.
That explains it.
Hey, Paulina has Nile, so come on, Paulina.
But she also owns Smiths.
Yeah,
I got a Smith CD. Now you guys can't make
because
fun of
Davey was tired of us making fun of you. He's
like, because somebody sent you one. It's not like you put in some effort and went and got one.
Davey was like, "Man, I'm
walked all the way to your mailbox to get one."
Hey, I didn't even know it was coming. Okay, I had no idea.
Vinyl Kick said boobies over Buble. Oh, okay, that I agree with.
Yes, definitely.
You know, boobies over everything. I mean, I even pick boobies over the Smiths.
Well, let me look up this. Let me look up this Richard guy and see if I listen to him.
Did I say these cousins were Filipino? They used to play Josh Groban CDs on their radios at their workstations.
What is it? What is it with Filipino people and their talent? I mean, Filipino people can sing. Oh God!
Is Richard Clatterman also this Mount Rushmore of talent, Lisa?
Who's Richard? Who's Richard Clatterman?
Clayderman.
Clayderman.
Come on, you should be old enough to remember the Richard Clayderman commercials on TV in the very late '80s and the '90s.
Oh, he's like the John
piano and is like.
Oh, he's like John Tesh. Yeah. I get down
before John Tesh, but yeah,
I get down with John Tesh, so I think I would get down with Richard Clayderman.
Oh, great!
If it was a choice between Josh Groban and Nickelback, who would it be? Josh
Groban, of course.
Oh no, she's on.
Yeah. Now, if it was between Josh Groban and Creed.
To be fair, I think I'd probably take Josh Groban over Nickelback too. If I had to take one over the other, if I put a gun to my head, I would. Yeah.
Actually, no, I wouldn't listen to Richard Clayderman, but John Tesh, yes.
Yeah, it would work. Yeah.
I like John Tesh.
John Tesh. I don't think I've just always seen people joke about John Tesh. I don't think I've ever actually heard a John Tesh song.
Okay, Lisa, show us your John Tesh Live at Red Rocks DVD.
Well, just because I like John Tesh doesn't mean I own him. I don't own any John Tesh. I mean, Brian.
He did play at the Pan Express in Monterey Park. So yeah.
Well, that Panda Express may or may not give you food poisoning, but it's a Panda Express.
The singer who replaced Steve Perry in Journey was from Philadelphia. Yeah, he was. Yeah, I saw actually a documentary on him. It was called Every Man's Dream, I think, or something of that sort.
Yeah.
Yeah, they found him on YouTube of all places.
Yeah.
Do you know how Baby Metal was influenced?
Is Baby Metal like considered like lightweight heavy metal? Because I listen to them, and are they considered like the Josh Groban of heavy metal?
Let's take a look here. Let's hope that I don't echo here. So I go ahead and grab that. Bring it up. Okay.
But I mean, I've heard of Baby Metal. I one time was like listening to them, and I was like, "Wow, they're so unique and interesting." I think Paulina might like Baby Metal.
You get over here.
No,
you get over here.
You're not into.
You open up
it's a Japanese female metal band.
I don't do metal. Period.
I have one metal album, and it's because somebody probably gave it to me. Wow. This is what happens. This is what happens when I made an album one day. I will.
That's what it's like when Lisa White listens to Nickelback.
No, that's what everybody feels when they have to listen to my Josh Groban music.
Hey, Eddie.
Hey, Eddie. I will defend Nickelback, okay? I will defend Nickelback for one song. That song, Hero, is a good song. Okay, it's a fantastic song. What? I gotta practice, I gotta practice for my role. And no, I did not break up the Beatles. I did not break up the Beatles. Paul, you need to stop accusing me of breaking up the Beatles. Me and John Lennon may or may not have been getting it on during the sessions.
Wow. You had to finish after
I'm a very talented musician in my own right. My son is also very talented too. My son Sean, very talented.
Let's see, Arnel Pinata. Sure.
I think sometime, I want to see if Paulina agrees with this, and I'm being serious now. I think sometime in the mid '80s, when Yoko was putting out an album like every year or two, if she would have gotten a band together and done a tour, I think we might think most people might think very different things about her than we do today.
Yeah.
Because she can actually sing. She's actually a good songwriter. And if she would have ever gone out on her own,
Eddie.
John died, and done it just once.
I enjoy some Yoko.
I enjoy some Yoko. It would change everybody's opinion of her. Because I think it would have been decent.
I do agree, because there are songs that she's done that I feel like are really tamed, and I like those songs. Stuff like Don't Be Sad. Don't Be Scared on Milk and Honey is a very beautiful song.
Yeah.
I think she's done Kiss 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 is a great song. Walking on Thin Ice is a great song.
That was gonna be my ringtone.
Yes, I'm Your Angel is a great song. Mrs. Lennon is a great song. Going back, the song called "Oh Oh," which is maybe my favorite Yoko song.
And Chuck Berry's opinion.
Yeah. I mean, no. If you listen to like her stuff,
but she didn't have 70s, to do that. She did that. John wanted to include her, but she wasn't going to be singing along with John or any that wouldn't have worked. So she did that. But if she could have done her own stuff, her own actual songs.
This is a great song too. Sisters
of Sisters is like a girl group, a reggae girl group song.
Now, did she play any instruments?
She was a trained pianist.
Okay.
She's a piano player. She studied music when she was a child.
So, How Fly, what a great song.
Yeah, but there's real songs on all of those albums too. I mean, you got to remember she was an artist. But by the time of Double Fantasy, she'd stopped doing that stuff, and she's writing 12 songs and putting out an album of, songs.
I mean, I used to thought of her as a
pretty
joke.
Good. A lot of them anyway.
Well, I thought of her as a joke, and then Massey said, "Well, you gotta check out Walking on Ice by her. You gotta check out some of her later stuff."
The
and I was like, okay.
remix, which nobody knows.
That changed my opinion of Yoko when I listened to later stuff.
There's a bootleg came out called Yin Yang, a Lennon boot, and this version of Walking on Thin Ice on it, which at the time it was rumored, who knows, but supposedly that was what John was working on the night that he got killed, was that version of Walking on Thin Ice.
The screaming that John Lennon did on
it's really different from the release version. I'm sorry, Dusty. Go ahead.
No, it's all right. The screaming that John Lennon did on songs like Cold Turkey came from some type of screaming therapy that Yoko Ono was into.
Wow.
They were both into it. They studied with Carl Janoff, I think was the guy who was in the Primal Scream therapy, and they both did it.
Yoko was highly respected in artist communities. That I do know. That's true.
Yeah.
That I do know. She played John.
I don't
Primal Scream therapy.
Yeah.
Like I had said, and I've said it before, and a lot of people probably disagree with me. After I saw Get Back, I don't know if it was just a good job of editing it or what, but after I saw that documentary, I kind of changed my opinion of Yoko Ono. Not her music, like I said, maybe if I do a deep dive into her and give her some time, maybe I'll change my mind on that. But as far as her splitting up the Beatles and causing problems between band members like that, after I saw that, I was kind of like, nah, this is already fractured.
No, she didn't help matters because it was an unwritten rule that no women in the studio. That was an unwritten rule, and it always was. And then comes the White Album. It wasn't even, Get Back. It was the White Album. John brings Yoko, and then he's doing a song called Bungalow Bill, and hey, Yoko could sing on this, and the other guys weren't very keen on that. Of course, they weren't. That wasn't.
So then it was more John's doing than it was hers.
Well, that's the thing. You want to blame somebody, blame Lennon. Don't blame Yoko.
Yeah, but then again, also
she wasn't begging him to go.
Yeah,
he was so jealous of her, he didn't want to let her out of his sight.
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe she should. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. I mean, so many years, but maybe she could have been like, no, this is your work time. This is, whatever. I should not be there. The other wives aren't there, so I'm not going to be there either.
She did.
I'm sure she could have.
Well, we know she did, and John's like, "No, you're coming with me."
Yeah, John was probably pushing her, but John's like, "I need you."
Because it couldn't have been comfortable for her. It couldn't have been pleasant.
Yeah. No.
Primal Scream therapy or her brother. Didn't George? I remember hearing a story. I think one of you had said it about George and the cookies, or George and the tea.
Yeah, jumped on her about it. George had some biscuits on his guitar amp, and Yoko walked towards it and took a cookie. And I think that sort of pissed off George because those are his biscuits, and George was already a very uptight person anyway, so any little thing would have set him off anyway. But
I think it pissed him off because she didn't ask. If she would have said, "George, can I have a cookie?" I'm sure he would have said, "Oh yeah, absolutely." But she didn't ask, and I think that's what pissed him off.
And they referenced it. They referenced it in Get Back because when Paul and Ringo was just at Twickenham studio, and I think Paul was saying, and the Beatles broke up because Yoko wanted a cookie.
All the fans are, we would have bought a cookie.
For years, everybody had always assumed that George left because of that argument in the film that he'd had with Paul, but he'd actually had an argument with John. And he left after that. It wasn't Paul. It was John that pissed him off. I don't know what the argument was about. They didn't tape it, but
I think it was a lot of things happening. Is he had his argument with John, but I think that day he had an argument with Patty. And
there was other stuff going on, but I think the argument with John was the
the
straw that broke the camel's back.
You never take a man's hobnob. It's
and George, in a way, George did write a song about it. It was Wawa. Off of All Things Must Pass. Wawa was like, I think might have been John that says like, give us some more Wawa on that, or was joking with him about that because George was using the Wawa on everything, and John might have given him some stick about it.
Is Fox Guy joking here, or were they special cookies? Were they digestive cookies?
digestive biscuits, but that's just the kind of biscuit. It's not anything special. Like I said, she didn't ask, I think, was the problem.
Patty Boyd Harrison was love interest. Yeah, we know that.
And right now, there's people that's arguing me on this one video that went out today. Because the video was about how that Rock and Roll Hall of Fame happened, induction in '87, and Paul was not there. And the reason why he wasn't there is because George, Ringo, and Yoko was suing him because Paul got a royalty increase from EMI for the Beatles stuff. And I was thinking, like, you know what? Paul deserved that royalty increase. And the reason why he deserved that royalty increase was he was the only Beatle that actually fought for the Beatles. And that's, which is very, very true, because Paul was always the one that fought for their success. He's the one that in 1966 told them, like, hey, it's time to go back into the studio to make some records. We do have a recording contract to, continue to fulfill, and then everything else that was going on, like, Paul was always fighting to keep the band going. And, and it shows that he was still very much in love with the idea of being a Beatle. And whereas the others could have done without the Beatles, like Ringo could have done something. George was more about doing his weird Indian shit. John was more interested in shagging Yoko and doing coke and stuff like that.
Anybody else that he could get his hands on, but that's
whereas Paul was the one that was like the workaholic, and like, the reason why we got Sgt. Pepper, White Album, Abbey Road, and Let It Be was because of Paul. That was 67 to 70 was basically Paul taking.
Yeah, when Brian died, Paul definitely took over. I mean, somebody had to. It wasn't going to be letting.
My head of hair.
What were you drinking, Lisa?
Capri Sun.
Did you bring enough for all of us?
You want some? I'll bring the whole box.
And do you think it's fair that you drink Capri Sun in front of all of us when none of us have any?
You want me to bring the whole box?
So you go and you bring your Lunchables to the stream and you don't bring enough for everybody else.
Well, do you guys drink? Do you guys drink Capri Sun? That's good stuff.
We would like Capri Suns also.
Oh, I'll bring you the whole box.
Don't you think it's unfair that you drink Capri Sun?
I will bring you the whole box. Hold up.
Okay, great. Okay, we're going to go back to our discussion. Okay, go ahead, Pauline. I'm sorry.
And so there's these people, I did that comment. I said, like, well, if Paul got an increase, he deserved that increase because he worked hard for everything. And, and people like saying, someone said in this mention, they said, like, well, Paul's the one that sold the music to Michael Jackson. I was like, are you a fucking idiot? Paul did not sell the music to Michael Jackson. Like, Paul tried to get the music, but Michael Jackson outbid him, and Paul wanted the songs all for like the longest time, but because John Lennon had to open up his fucking mouth saying, like, hey, I'm leaving the band, that caused Dick James and the other guy to sell the songs to another company. And
well, it wasn't that he didn't leave the band. Yeah, they were at a meeting and he got bored, and the backers were gonna go with the Beatles, and John got bored, and he's like, "This is taking too long. Me and Yoko are out of here," and they just went, "Okay, well, if you don't care, then we don't care," and they let the songs go. And so John, it's actually John that lost the Beatles songs.
Yeah. Oh, and of course, one for Jen and one for Dave. There you go.
Okay, what about Dwayne's, and what about
I'm running out of them.
Well, if you don't have enough for everyone, you shouldn't drink
Dwayne, Fox Guy.
How are you doing, Anakai? Long time no see, man.
When you get back to the store.
And look, and Kit, there you go. We got one for everybody.
Okay, it's the thought that counts. It's the thought that counts.
I bought these at Costco. They were on sale. You know what? That's a true statement. That's a true statement, Kit. Pacific Cooler all the way, but I drank them all. I'm gonna drink another one of these.
And plus the other thing is I mean, it doesn't have anything to do with the Beatles, but the other three, Paul definitely made more money for EMI over his career than any of probably the other three put together, to be honest. I mean, that's worth something,
And Paul stayed with EMI too. Right after everything with Apple, Paul was stick with them. Whereas George,
when in the US he didn't for a few years, but in Europe he never left.
That shit's good.
It's just like so interesting.
I still contend that one of the main reasons Paul left Columbia was because Michael Jackson.
That's okay, Fox. Now you don't want that shit.
Him. I'll give you a because he didn't have that kind of money, so they backed him. So he's like, my own record label did this to me, so I'm out.
Well, I take back Box Guy's Capri's son.
I never really got why he went to Columbia in the first place. He had a good.
They offered him a crap load of money, and his contract was up with EMI. I mean, all the other Beatles had left early. He extended his contract by 2 years, and then got a huge offer from Columbia.
He was still with EMI in England. He was still issuing records with Parlophone.
I know that. It's a separate contract, and Columbia offered him a crap load of money, and he took it.
Good luck, Jen.
They got the Stones around the same time, maybe a year or two later. But I mean, Columbia was just buying up artists at that point in time. That's what they were doing, and they got Stones and they got McCartney, and then it almost bankrupted them. They got somebody else that was really big too, and they almost had to file for bankruptcy because they spent so much money on just a few artists.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, because I remember Columbia during the 70s and the early 80s. It seemed like everybody was on Columbia CBS. It seemed like they had everybody. Because they're all part of the same under the same umbrella. You have Epic, Columbia, CBS. They were all under the same.
And they probably said to Paul, we'll release a few singles and we'll take your back catalog and we'll re-release all of that and so that sounds great. They did a crappy job on them, but they did do it and
Zenev said, "Don't you guys get it? Paul died in 1966."
That's the theory. That's a theory that they've been saying for many years. But he has a twin.
Yeah, that was supposed to. What was it like? The passport photo. Jesus Christ! I'm only on water. What's going on here? Passport photo of the original Billy Shears. Supposedly that was supposed to be Billy Shears. That looked like Paul McCartney before the surgery. They try and say something like that.
It's William Campbell, and I mean this stuff goes deep. There's a Beatle knockoff album called Billy and the Pepper Pots. That's the name of the band. It's really hard to find. Mayo found one, and I could have killed him because he doesn't believe in any of this. He doesn't even consider it. And this looms large, because Billy and the Pepper Pots is supposed to be William Campbell, i.e., Paul McCartney.
Hey, Savannah.
And so that makes that record very desirable, just because of that, rumor that's out there. And
okay, what do you think of the Paul is dead conspiracy theory?
I think that there's about a 95% chance that he's not, but I'll keep that little 5% open.
Yeah.
I mean, but if you think about it, it's like history repeats itself, because they've said the same thing about other artists. recently. Like they said the same thing about Avril Lavigne. Then there's people that are saying the same thing. I mean, I had heard somewhat of a rumor about it where they were saying the same thing about Britney Spears. It's like I think it's like something that just pops up every so often. Like they end up using. I mean, the Avril Lavigne one.
Dusty
the original sucks and the clone sucks. So they both suck to me.
Yeah. Dusty wouldn't be crying if he actually did tag.
But the most compelling thing really is that between 66 and mid 67, Paul's face did change a lot. Now, people's faces change as they get older. Of course they do. But his face did go from being pretty round to pretty thin. And, I mean, so that's little,
Could it be he just got some work done? I mean, I think Woodland Goblin. I think he's a clone.
Well, he did get a little bit of work done because he was in an accident. He didn't die. I think he was in like a scooter accident. I forget what he was, but like when you see the Paperback Writer Rain videos, his lips all puffy and he's got a tooth missing and he got in some sort of accident and I don't know what and so
he was on like a moped in Liverpool when he was visiting, and I think when he fell off of it, he landed on his face, and this chipped tooth caused this to open.
Really?
So that's why when you saw him afterwards, he was sporting a mustache.
Yeah, the mustache.
And it was a fake mustache. I've seen video. I think it's at the Day in the Life sessions, because they kind of had a party after and everything. But there is a video where it's very plain that mustache is falling off, and you see Paul just kind of put it back on like that. And it's like, but I think that's why. I think because he had to have his lips sewn up, and so he put on a fake mustache, and then.
I don't think so. 2000, I think the MySpace crowd would, but that's about it.
Because if you and if you look at his mustache, I know he's got a beard too, but in like Let It Be and look at the Pepper mustache, they're not exactly the same mustache. And you grow the same mustache every time you grow a mustache; it doesn't change.
No one's gonna really cry.
The same. But none of these things mean he's dead. It's just little. There's a billion little clues.
Let me see. Exactly, Fosca. Fosca said Mike Love slugged him in his ear.
Mike Love is a busy man. He's a very busy man.
DJ Tristan, did Paul's dentist introduce him to LSD or acid?
No, actually, that was John and George that introduced Paul to acid. It was a dentist that introduced George and John to.
Yeah, I don't know whose dentist it was, but yeah, it was a dentist.
Yeah.
Really? It was a dentist?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's what Dr. Robert is about. Dr. Robert is about that night.
Is there anything? I swear, is there anything like the Beatles did not document in like song or like in support of the album?
Lennon loved. No, Paul didn't. Paul didn't write about his life much or anything, but Lennon did. Lennon loved to write about his life,
his adventures.
Norwegian Wood is about a affair he had. Lennon loved to do that kind of stuff. Paul liked to make it up.
Oh my god! I mean, out of all of them, you have to admit that Paul McCartney, he's had the most successful, solo career. Well, out of all of them,
that's what I said. He's probably made more money for EMI than the other three put together.
Yeah, because John, unfortunately, he passed away, so he didn't have a chance, of course, to fulfill his, whatever it was he would be able to do. But Ringo, George, getting there.
Well, Ringo made money in the beginning. Ringo off the bat, Ringo was the most successful Beatle till about 73, late 73. Ringo had more number ones. Ringo had more hits. Ringo's album sold a ton. The only one he'd had at that point, really. I mean, I'm not counting the country album. And, Ringo was a successful one. Paul was having trouble having hits, especially outside of America. He was having some success in America, but in England, he wasn't having any success. And, George had My Sweet Lord. And What Is Life did okay, but then his next single, Bangladesh, didn't do much. Give Me Love went number 1, so that was really good. But so until then, until mid '73, Ringo had Back Off Boogaloo was a big hit. It Don't Come Easy was a big hit. He had the Ringo album with Photograph number 1. It had 3. The Ringo album has 3 number 1 singles on it. It's a Ringo album, and it's got 3 number 1s on it. I mean, I think it's the first solo Beatle album to have 3 number 1s.
It's like if you like took all of like Ringo's EPs and all his releases, wouldn't he have like maybe like 2 albums? Two complete albums? No, I was kidding.
Ringo has a lot of albums, and people.
I'm just joking, I know, but I was just like,
that in a way may be true, VK, but you have to consider that John, off the bat, was he hooked up with Phil Spector, and so between those 2 guys, they were together like super band musicians, and these things like Jim Gordon, Eric Clapton, Alan White, Klaus Voormann, the guys from Badfinger, George Harrison and Ringo Starr was on these recordings and everything, and so John basically just like in a way cheated by bringing in all these big musician names into his recordings, whereas Paul did things in a very organic way. He wasn't reaching for musicians that were like big name musicians. He wanted musicians that were like-minded like him, like Denny Lane, Denny Sidewell, Henry
until he got the idea for Rockestra. Paul never worked with any big names solo. It wasn't until '79 was the first time he did.
And Paul was the only producer on the recordings. John had Phil Spector, and
he was producing his own stuff, and John's working with Elton John and David Bowie, and
I'm just creating my own facts here.
I'm surprised that Phil Spector didn't beat up
Bolan, and George is working with Eric Clapton and Gary Wright, and Paul's working with Denny Lane. I think he could have made a better choice. I'm sorry, Denny, and I hope you get well. But Denny is not one of the most talented people in the world.
Watch Mojo just released a video today. Actually, was supposed to be like top 10 musicians who murdered someone, and of course, you know who was number 1.
Yep. Phil Spector.
You already know he was number 1. They ended up showing
he's his neighbor.
You didn't see Lisa in the background. Stop.
No, do you think I want to be waving my hand at a house knowing this guy killed a woman in there? Hell no. I don't want to be
Lisa was on the news. She's like, I seen it. I knew it. I knew he was
Okay, when that happened, that was 2003, right? That happened 2003 or 2004. What year was that?
Lisa's like, ain't nobody got time for that.
Wait a minute. Murder of Alhambra woman.
You put murder in Alhambra, you're gonna end up having like who knows how many
stories. No, I got it. Spectre. Okay, it was 2003. So in 2003, I was going to be 21. I was 20, so I didn't care about. I didn't. I was like, who's Phil Spector? Because back then I was stupid and dumb, didn't know who he was.
You weren't into music back then, so it was just a recent thing.
Of course, I was into music back then. I was buying CDs.
Look at Paulina's like, I don't know either. Oh my God, I got freaked out. That looked like it was a head behind you.
Who?
No, by her bed. It looked for a minute there. It looked like to me. It looked like a head or something back there. Is that a beret back there?
Yeah, I put my hat up.
Oh God, it looked like it was like a hair on a head or some shit like that. I was like, Lisa, you got a real fucking ghost. Now she's gonna go there and grab it. I was like, oh, Lisa's got another ghost. We're gonna end up on slap him.
I think I don't know. I don't know when I mentioned it or anything, but I was like saying like, that's gonna be like a sad thing because Alhambra is always gonna be known as the place where Phil Spector killed someone.
Yeah, that's the only place. That's what I know for.
It's gonna be a thing that someday somebody in Alhambra is gonna be the one that's gonna have the cure for cancer or something like that.
Yeah.
But everybody's like, yeah, but isn't that the place that Phil Spector killed someone?
Well, we're known for two things. We're known for two things in Alhambra. We're known for the Phil Spector shooting, and we're known for the guy who disarmed that killer at that ballroom.
I thought that was in Monterey Park at the festival.
Yeah, but the last place he went to was this ballroom in Alhambra, and he was gonna shoot that one up too. And the kid disarmed him.
Did he disarm him during the Grateful Dead set or during Jimi Hendrix's set? That's what I'm.
No, it was during the Creedence Clearwater revival.
Oh, okay, set. During CCR set. Okay.
because Grateful Dead took forever, so CCR.
Man, I am like, usually if somebody said that, you turn and be like, no, it wasn't the same place. You would let it go. But the fact that he was so adamant and so like sure of himself that was the fact, that's what just makes it like, wow.
No, because I bring it up as a joke and it pissed him off so much. He's like, don't bring that up ever again.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a great moment, but it was like he was adamant, that like.
I mean, Monterey Park, all those Asian women were like, throwing their bras for Jimi Hendrix.
It was Monterey Park where it happened.
And as soon as he said it, I was like, sat there, I was like, should I correct him or should I just let that go? I'll just let that go. I'm not gonna say nothing.
All those Asian women were throwing their bras for Jerry Garcia.
No, during the 60s there were no one was wearing bras.
Yeah, no one had a bra to throw in the 60s.
But there's a lot of elderly people in Monterey Park. So yeah.
The elderly people were seeing Hendrix play in Monterey Park.
They were throwing their bras. The elderly people were throwing their bras. You got an 80-year-old woman coming out of her nursing home throwing a bra for Jimi Hendrix.
Special Jimi Hendrix early bird.
The 60s must have been like horrible to be big breasted because everybody taking their bras off because if you're big breasted, you're unable to take your bra off and
it wouldn't have been horrible for me.
Yeah, it would have been for everyone else, but of course, all the guys looking.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have survived 68, man, all that free love. I don't know if I would have been able to do that.
Yeah, Dusty would have been in heaven.
See Lisa walking around butt naked painting her body.
I would have been happy back then. But my dad said that the 60s wasn't that all that great. It's like you guys made it seem like it was great.
That was a great day. Yeah. Lucy, I'm home. Jim's like, Lucy, I'm home.
No,
I was going to ask if anybody recognized where I was. Apparently somebody does.
Bras were hard to get in the 60s. The elastic bands were used in parachute. Wow, really? Okay.
I've never seen any color before. That's amazing.
Yeah, that set is iconic. That I Love Lucy set.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Fox Guy. We have a lot of Asians in Monterey Park, so they all, love to see Jimi Hendrix because, they're too busy listening to Jay Chow or whatever that guy is in China. It's big.
Oh yeah, Fox Guy 67. It was a classic moment. It was a classic moment.
Yeah,
it was just like so classic because it's like we were talking about the Monterey Park shooting, like Lisa was saying. We were talking about it had happened and everything like that. And then Cap turns around and says, that it was so sad. The thing that's sad is, the city's known for the Monterey Park. Jimi Hendrix played there for the Monterey Park Festival. And we're like, what? For the Monterey Jazz, Monterey,
right
the Monterey Pop Festival. And we're like,
yeah, I'm like,
Monterey.
My dad would have seen it if he played that.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's
the after party was
you went on right after the puppet show.
Yeah.
The after party was at the Panda Express. The Caros. It was at the Caros.
All of us end up having, our moments where we're, we don't look the greatest, but it's like that was just one of those moments where he was like adamant that he was like, he was right, and it's just kind of like
we all have good moments. The Monterey Park one, the Electric Banana.
Yeah, it was something else. It was something else. Well, all right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and log off because, like I said, again, it's 10:30, so it's coming to that hour. I'm coming to the 2-hour. Mark off where I have to go ahead and do my Uber duties. People are really gonna think I'm a real Uber or Lyft driver. They're gonna be like, "Oh, just gonna go drive Uber."
Oh yeah, Dusty's gonna go to Monterey Park and pay his respects.
I'm gonna go to Monterey Park. I'm gonna go to Monterey Park and drive around, see if I can find any his music historians.
Yeah, you're gonna be
I was there, man. I was there.
What the heck?
I was there, man. I was there.
Dusty's in the middle of a sunny day one day, and Dusty's got a shovel digging, and some officer comes up to him. "What are you doing, sir?" "Oh, I'm looking. I'm trying to see if I can find one of Hendrix's picks."
Trying to find one. Trying to find some some artifacts from the Grateful Dead or somebody.
I heard that Hendrix dropped some picks, and I'm looking.
All right, then, people. Well, we'll be back tomorrow night. I will go ahead and I'll end up having another stream tomorrow night. We'll do the 8:30 thing. I'll do the same thing I did before. Send you guys out the links, whatever, stuff like that. I'll go ahead and send you out a link too, Dave. I'll send you one if you want to go ahead and come up and stuff like that tomorrow with us. Hey, whatever happened to Charlie? I have no idea. I am curious about what happened to Charlie. He hasn't been around for quite a while.
I was like, where is Charlie? Because Charlie usually,
Well, he used to pop in from time to time, but it's like,
I miss him sticking out the middle finger at me every time we go to chat.
Him and Lisa have a love-hate situation with each other.
No, because one time I wouldn't play jam bands on my YouTube stream, and he got pissed off at me.
So you don't know that was Freedom Rock, dude. I used to tell him it was Freedom. Hey, Freedom Rock, man.
What happened to his friend? His one friend, that guy. What was his name?
That guy was freaking hilarious. I remember that one time he was telling the story about how he smacked the shit out of Charlie. And him and Charlie are up on the street talking about it. And he's like, "Oh, well, I went outside, Charlie's sitting there, and I smacked him. I smacked him upside his head." And I'm like, "Why'd you smack him?" He's like, "Oh, because you wouldn't shut up, man."
They're like the Tommy
the way he said it, though, yeah.
He's
like, "You wouldn't shut up, man." Charlie's sitting there going, "Well, yeah, that hurt, man." They're like old Cheech and Chong, I swear.
No, they're young Cheech and Chong.
All right, people. Okay, we'll see everybody tomorrow. Bye.